2026 has just started. We have no idea where the economy is headed for the rest of the year, but just in case you want to save up some money, put that into retirement, into savings, but still want to look good on feet, here's some top 10 under retail Air Jordans that you might want to consider. Now, big disclaimer, I am using kind of the more common sizes to determine if a shoe is under retail. I happen to have a pretty common sized foot, 9.5 in men's US, anywhere around 8 to I think 11 I consider pretty common. So if you have one of those size 14 gargantuan feet, if you have size 6 feet, don't comment and say you don't know what you're talking about. Those shoes are just harder to get. They don't create and produce as many of them, so that is not exactly the standard or the average size foot. And second disclaimer real quick, prices can often fluctuate. Sometimes shoes that were just under retail 1 week might just be a little bit above retail or just at retail. This is under retail at the time of this recording. Here we go. So number 10, it is the Jordan 1 Royal Reimagined that first dropped on November 4th in 2023. Now this is obviously part of the Reimagined series for Jordan Brand. You got the Lost and Found, Jordan 3 Reimagined, and you have this one. And people did not like these. So of course the Royal colorway is an OG colorway. Apparently is returning this year actually in a true to original form, no reimagining. But they tried to spin this one up, change the materials from leather to suede and nubuck. Of course, suede and nubuck, not just forms of leather, kind of treated differently, but people just were not buying it. You can buy this damn near half price. This is a way under retail shoe. I think this is still a very nice looking colorway. Of course, people will always like OGs the way it originally came on Michael Jordan's feet or back in the day, even if Michael Jordan didn't wear an in-game. But I do think removing that historical significance inside, looking at the shoe just in a vacuum, it is hard to deny. And at number 9, it is the Union LA Biffy's Beauty Supply that dropped on August 26th in 2023. Of course, to kick off this year, we got 3 Union Fragment Jordan 1s, all of them very hard to get, with the black and white one being super limited. I did review the Varsity Red colorway, pretty delicious. But one thing that I like about the shoe that I know a lot of people did not like is that they went just absolutely all out. They completely changed things up. This is inspired by the Footscape. I really like when collaborations do something that's way different, way wild. That's why when Clot was still with Nike and Jordan Brand, whenever they came out with a shoe, I always appreciated it. I don't always like them. In fact, sometimes I think they're just unwearable, but I do like how most of the times they just go all out. And same with the shoe. And the storytelling on this is insane too. So it is actually celebrating Union LA founder Chris Gibbs and his wife Beth Gibbs meeting in summer of 1996. Beth is the founder of Biffy's Beauty Supply and came with a custom box as well as a Union LA tag like usual, but also the BBS tag on the back of the shoe. And according to Sneakers, the woven details is meant to represent the renewal of the vows of the couple. Now I can understand why some people just really did not take to this shoe, but I think the fact that you can get this way under retail and how different it looks, but for me still actually being decently wearable despite that insane design, the colors are not too much, not too loud. I think this is a pretty good steal. And at number 8, it is the Jordan 6 UNC that dropped on March 5th in 2022. Yes, this is cheating a little bit because this is barely under retail, especially in certain more limited sizes, but at least for some very common sizes, you can probably get it a bit under retail. Now, I think this is one of the best Jordan 6 colorways ever. The UNC blue is probably my favorite color on Jordan Brand sneakers. You get the college basketball tag on the back of the shoe instead of Jumpman branding. The blue is in nubuck, just pretty nice materials. The 6 is one of those shoes that I never really loved growing up, but recently, just like the 8s, it started to grow on me. I've been wearing it more and more, and the more I look at this, the more I like how it looks. And I think in 2026, the Jordan 6 is probably going to have a big year because it is the 35th year anniversary of the shoe. So we started the year with the Bin 23 Jordan 6, the Salesman colorway of course, but here's hoping to some other more delicious, slept on and underrated colorways of the Jordan 6 coming back. And at number 7, I'm sorry, it is another Jordan 1, but it is the Jordan 1 Low OG Black Toe that dropped on August 4th in 2024. And of course, this Chicago Black Toe colorway is an OG colorway just in the highs. They trimmed it off, gave us a low top, but this shoe I think I included just because of how absolutely versatile and wearable it is. Jordan 1 Low I think might be the most wearable and versatile sneaker ever. Just like full stop period. Just wear it anywhere and it fits. And the colorway, super wearable as well. And because it is a Jordan 1 Low, it retailed at $140, under retail actually makes the shoe pretty affordable. Like this is such a simple shoe. You can take it with you anywhere and you won't really have to like worry about outfit choices or nothing like that. The versatility of these brought this shoe onto this list. And at number 6, it is the Jordan 4 Keystone that dropped on September 6th for $225. Now I believe this shoe came right before the A Ma Maniére Jordan 4s. Was around the same time. I think some people might have been waiting for the A Ma Manières and passed on this, or maybe the other way around. But surprisingly, this is actually slightly under retail, not too much, especially if you are like a huge footer or a tiny footer. You might not be able to get it under retail, but for a lot of common sizes, you can. And I'm kind of surprised because this colorway on a Jordan 4, probably the most popular Jordan silhouette right now, is insanely wearable as well. And it's got this level of kind of sophistication with it. I think when you're older, you start to gravitate towards brownish shades of shoes, or slightly brown. I know it's not exactly like wood brown, but for whatever reason, as you get older, you just like that color more and more. And this is, again, just like the previous shoe on this list, super wearable, super delicious, and a perfect shoe for fall. And at number 5, it is the Jordan 1 Shattered Backboard that dropped last year on August 23rd. This shoe might as well be called the Shattered Expectations. I think Jordan Brand really thought bringing this colorway back would make people talk about it with their shirt off. Instead, you can get this so under retail, it's ridiculous. Of course, this colorway is not an OG colorway, first dropped in 2015, so for the 10-year anniversary, they brought it back. And back in 2015, people were talking about this colorway with their shirt off. They were like, the leather's so great, look how much tumbling and like the texture of the leather you can see. Of course, just because a shoe is kind of textured and it's got that tumbled look, doesn't always mean it's like the best leather ever. You can literally spin that leather in a drum and it'll make the leather softer, create that texture, but it could be leather that's like thin as a piece of garbage. I never actually got the 2015 shoe in hand, so I won't comment on that, but at least for last year's version, I thought it was decent. It did change things up this time around. Came with a custom box as well as custom insoles. However, there were slight minor differences. The sole was a little darker. Swoosh in the 2025 version is a little bit bigger. Orange is also a little bit darker. And if you don't care about what other people think about your shoes and the value of your shoes, which you shouldn't, this one you should definitely check out because it is so underpriced right now, at least when I'm making this video. Yeah, it is considered a good steal. And at number 4, it is the Jordan 3 Family Affair that dropped on October 25th in 2025. And I think Jordan Brand also wanted this shoe to be a very special release. They wanted it to be perceived that way as well. I wasn't too surprised that people didn't really like clamor onto this shoe. It's not like some special collaboration or nothing. But I personally thought it was really nice. It came with really nice materials. It got the Nike Air branding treatment from Jordan Brand. It had delicious gum bottoms. Talk about a sophisticated looking shoe. Olive is my favorite shade of green. It is one of my favorite colors ever. Pair that up with the gum bottoms. I think this just, yeah, again, it just brings up the level of sophistication with those gum bottoms and it just feels nice in hand. I really think this was a super slept on shoe that dropped in 2025. And number 3, it is the Jordan 11 Legend Blue, aka Columbia, that dropped in 2024 on December 14th. Again, cheating a little bit here. Not all sizes are under retail, and there are some common sizes just a bit under retail, but technically still under retail. Just let me include this shoe, but I can't believe any of the sizes are actually slightly under retail. This is of course an OG colorway, originally called the Columbia colorway, and it is just one of the best looking Jordan 11s ever. The 11s, one of the more popular silhouettes, Michael Jordan's personal favorite, and just the cleanliness of this shoe cannot be overstated. He first wore this in the 1996 All-Star game, so it matched those super nice retro looking jerseys. I can't say it came with like super delicious materials or anything, but it's only been back in 2001 as well as 2014, but those retros were not actually like the best in terms of the color and the shape. This one, they actually have the Jumpman facing the right way, and it is the closest to the OG version that we've ever gotten. If you like 11s and you don't have these, and you don't mind paying nearly retail but not quite retail, definitely check these out. And at number 2, it is the Jordan 12 Mellow that dropped on May 17th in 2025. Now, disclaimer, I am not even a Jordan 12 lover. Like, it's one of those shoes, like the 13s, I guess. I like the 13s more, but it's around that kind of tier for me, around the middle from Jordan 1 to 14 in terms of how much I like it. But when it's a nice colorway, I have to get it. And this, I think, is one of the best colorways, OG or non-OG, of the 12s. It is not an OG colorway. It actually came out in 2004. Carmelo Anthony had his own PEs, him obviously being a long-time Jordan Brand athlete, and it was his rookie year. And in the early 2000s to the mid 2000s, that baby blue, that Nuggets blue, had people talking about that color with their clothes off because it was everywhere, at least where I grew up. People loved that shade of blue, and you would see a ton of people didn't care about the NBA, didn't care about the Nuggets. They would rock the Carmelo Anthony jersey just because of that color. Super popular back then, and I think because of that, it's imprinted like this impression of that type of color in my head, and I just really wanted that shoe growing up. So they finally brought it back for the first time after 21 years, and it is a steal. Again, the materials are not like super delicious, it's not the most premium type of materials, but for under retail, on a shoe that's that clean, if you're my age and you grew up in your teenage years, was around the mid 2000s, early 2000s, if you're a 90s kid like I am, what are you waiting for? And at number 1, it is the Jordan 5 Grape that dropped on June 21st in 2025. Of course, number 1 is going to be a Jordan 5. It is my favorite sneaker ever, and I might be cheating a little bit because again, some sizes are not under retail because those sizes generally are just more limited, harder to get. But some common sizes, which my feet is, I'm a 9.5, it is slightly under retail, at least when I last checked. So by the time you check now, it might be just at retail, maybe over, but be smart, make an offer that's slightly under retail. I think you can still get a steal. But I had to include this shoe because look at it. It is so beautiful. The shape is actually closer to the OGs than like some past retros where their toe box just went up like a brick. The colorway, delicious. It's kind of different. You don't really think of the Charlotte Hornets type of color when you think of Michael Jordan, but he is from North Carolina, so that's that kind of reference there. And this was also the shoe Michael Jordan wore on the Wheaties box, and back in the day, that was a huge deal. Maybe not so much anymore. And of course, the Fresh Prince himself wore it as well. Really propelled it into mainstream type of popularity. And it just is a delicious, legendary, one of the best just things ever. I'm not even going to say sneakers, just one of the best things. One of the best things that I own, which gives you an idea of what I own, but come on. The hints of purple and teal together and this beautiful aggressive silhouette in the Jordan 5. If you're fortunate enough to be able to afford it, do yourself a favor. Go get these in hand. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Soul Inclined. Let me know what shoes that I missed out on, I might have forgotten, what shoes you would have really wanted in this list. Like, subscribe, comment, all the good stuff. And remember, tomorrow may never come, so wear your shoes